Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charles Advancement, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we have an absolutely insane show for you guys here today. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, I said a few days ago, I want to see where I said it on the channel, because people thought that it was a hot take at the time, but then we realized that it wasn't. I said, this was before Christmas, where I'm trying to, I deleted it. I deleted the comment, but I had said a few days ago that this Lakers season, the season is over, right? I don't know if it's still there, but I said this season is over. And some people were like, oh, it's too soon, man. This is a hot take, man. This is a hot take, dog. Like, come on, Charles. What you mean it's over? You're hating. And I said, no. I said it's over. And the data showed as much. These are the facts for the people that are stat geeks. Prior to LeBron's return to this team, the Lakers were among some of the best teams in the NBA in terms of offense. They were kind of a middle-of-the-pack team defensively, and they were giving up about 108 points per game per 100 possessions. Since his return, they've given up about 117.8 points per game per 100 possessions, which shows you that they've gotten qualitatively worse. Well, it's quite simple to see. Of the three defenders that they have, he's the worst. There's no disputing this. He's the worst. And it is no question that of the three best players on the team, he's having the most detrimental impact to winning. Now, of course, I know LeBron fans are going to be pissed off and screaming and hollering and all of this stuff. Well, I hate Charles. I hate this guy. He's a LeBron hater. But one of the things that LeBron James fans love to do is hang their analysis on stats. Well, let's go to the stats. This season, Austin Reeves, box plus minus on the year, is 2.9. Y'all know what box plus minus means. I don't need to explain it. Luka Doncic, his box plus minus is 2.6. All right. Now, what are those numbers saying? Are those numbers saying that Luka and Austin Reeves are great defenders? No, it's not saying that. It's saying, despite the fact that they're not great defenders, the team is still winning with those guys on the floor. That's what that number is telling you. LeBron James, his box plus minus on the year in 13 games is negative 4.5. Negative 4.5 in 13 games. Which means what? When he's on the floor, the team is being outscored by 4.5 points. When he's on the floor. If that stat doesn't tell you, then I'll show you another stat. In last night's game that they lost, LeBron had the worst box plus minus on the floor with a minus 33. But you'd be saying to yourself, how's that possible? Rui scored 0. Yeah, his box plus minus was minus 29. So ask yourself, how is it possible that a guy that scored 0 points, only had 1 assist, wasn't hurting his team as much as the guy that scored 18? Because the guy that scored 18 was busy arguing with referees in that third quarter when the Lakers were trying to make a comeback from that 10-point deficit coming out of the half, than actually playing defense. That's why Rui, for as bad as he is, at least can get back on defense. LeBron doesn't do that. Neither does Luka, but Luka's net effect is positive versus LeBron's. So at the end of the game, head coach JJ Redick decided that he had finally seen enough and decided that it was time for him to send a warning to his best players on the team who have not been getting the job done. And in my personal view, I think these comments were directed at Luka Doncic and LeBron James. But before we even get into what JJ had to say, we have a major announcement from our sponsor, Prize Picks. Everyone's favorite Prize Picks holiday promotion is back. 7 days of Pickmas. Prize Picks is giving out 7 days of deals all the way through Christmas Day, including a Christmas Day max discount. Pickmas starts December 20th, so download the app today and unwrap those deals. So download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code CLNS on PrizePicks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. Excellent. So what we want to do is want to play what JJ had to say here, and then want to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to JJ Redick's comments here.
When you point to that, I mean, I would assume the offensive rebounds in their first two misses, a thing that I would imagine you talked about a lot. As a coach, what does that feel like when you're on the sideline and you've keyed in on something and within 48 seconds it goes?
Yeah, it doesn't matter how I feel. It doesn't matter how I feel.
Why do you think your team was unable to execute the things that it was tasked with?
Because we don't care enough right now. And that's the part that bothers you a lot. We don't care enough to like do the things that are necessary. We don't care enough to be a professional. It's, we had it. We had it. This is I always say this about, culture. I always say this about a team being a good team being a functioning organism. It can change like that. We don't have it right now.
JJ, and as you talk about today is modern basketball, you guys have 2 days off, but I'm guessing you guys are only going to practice once. How do you improve on these things when you can't practice enough?
Oh, we practice them all the time. It's not, again, it goes back to what I said the other night. It's a matter of making the choice. And too often we have guys that don't want to make that choice. And it's pretty consistent who those guys are. And so Saturday's practice, I told the guys, it's going to be uncomfortable. The meeting is going to be uncomfortable. I'm not doing another 53 games like this.
Pre-game, you mentioned a stretch in March of last season where you thought maybe this was a little similar, or at least the feeling of it was similar. Was there anything that you recall that your team did to get out of it, to kind of get the momentum back that could be replicable in this situation?
Yeah, I mean, I think every group is different, and the circumstances of trying to get out of it, I think, are different. I wish I had a good answer to that question because I think it's a fair and valid question. It's hard because each individual guy is at a different space, So you're trying to get all of the individuals to function as a team, and you got to address what's going on right now, and it's hard to draw parallels. Does that make sense? Yeah.
JJ, you mentioned the lack of care factor right now. Is there anything, whether it's you or your coaching staff, is care factor coachable, or is that just either have it or you don't?
No, I think guys will say they want to win. The care factor to me is like, do I care enough to actually do what I'm supposed to do? And that's really what the championship habits are, and that's what we don't have right now.
If you're saying, you said earlier, it's the same guys not executing, does that just come down to, look, if you don't do it now, your rotation spot?
We've given everybody a chance.
Fantastic. So you heard what JJ Redick had to say. I was having a conversation this morning with Rashad McCann, and we're talking about this loss. And I said to him, he was telling me, bro, look, the team sucks. They all suck. They can't play defense. And I was saying, Rashad, yeah, I agree with you, but bro, look at the numbers. This dude is the worst of them all. And number two, Luka, for as bad as we've seen him play defense, he's better than he was last year. And as bad as he is as a defender, he was still able to make it to the finals and beat the team that beat LeBron to go to the finals. So if his defense is as detrimental to winning as some say it is, how did the Mavs get to the finals? Nikola Jokic is in a defensive stalwart. How did the Nuggets win the championship with his defense being that bad? Because they put the right players around him. Gordon, Brown, and all these guys. Great defense. You build around your best player, and you try to cover up for his deficiencies. And we've already seen teams do this successfully, like the Dallas Mavericks. We've already seen that. But the problem we're having is you're telling Luka for his best player his second best player to be a 41-year-old who has absolutely no interest in playing defense whatsoever. Now, that can't happen. You can't have a scenario like that, and then you have a Reeves who's a mid defender. Not even a bad defender. Right? You can't have scenarios like that. Cannot be your reality. But I want to get to what JJ had to say. Some people say, well, how do you know he's not directing this to Austin Reeves? Well, Austin Reeves only played 14 minutes in the game, so how could he be directing it to him? His problem starts at the top. As with any organization, issues begin at the top. He needs to address his best players in LeBron and Luka Doncic. Those are the players that he needs to address. The question is, does he have what it takes to address them? Because here's my proclamation. If JJ doesn't try to get a hold of this team, LeBron is going to get him fired by the end of the season. He said he's not going to go through this for another 53 games. You absolutely will if you don't do something. LeBron James is averse to being held accountable. He's averse to it. LeBron has shown you he doesn't respect you as a coach. That's the reason why he can be laughing with opponents during the game as the team is being blown out. So the question now becomes on JJ Redick, what are you going to do as a coach? Are you going to have your defining moment as a coach? Because now we're going to understand whether or not you're a coach. And it has nothing to do with X's and O's at this point. It has everything to do with your ability to communicate the harsh realities to your best players. Are you going to do it? In the press conference, it sounded great. You seem pretty pissed off. Tomorrow they're going to be having their practice and all of that. But you got to call guys to the carpet. You have to. LeBron sitting there, bro. If he was a coach, at that point you time out, you rip into his ass on the court. Or you bench him. I've seen Kobe Bryant get benched once. It was a crazy moment. I think it was Mike Brown that did it. It may have been Mike Brown or Mike D'Antoni, but I think it was Mike Brown, where Kobe was screwing up on the floor and he benched him. It was a moment, but he did it. Phil Jackson, well, you know Phil Jackson. He would just talk crap about you in the media. But now is when you develop as a coach, because ultimately coaching is not about X's and O's. The championship coaches is about managing star personalities. Those are the championship level coaches. It's not just about X's and O's. Can you manage superstar egos and keep them in check and coach them hard? Do you know who was a master at this? Greg Popovich. Obviously, Tim Duncan and these guys are willing to be coached, but Greg Popovich did that. Phil Jackson did that. And JJ Redick is going to have to do the same if he wants to gain any respect from this team and right this problem. Because as of now, there is no fixing it. Talking to the media isn't going to make it work. Isn't going to make it work. Now, I want to address another point quickly. They're Laker fans, LeBron fans, and you got to do Austin Reeves. Well, Austin Reeves only played 14 minutes in that game, and the Lakers got blown out in the third quarter. Excuse me. The 10-point deficit that they had coming into the second half, ballooned to 18 with LeBron and Luka and all of these guys and Marcus Smart on the floor. Reeves was nowhere to be found. He wasn't even in the game. So how you gonna blame it on Reeves? Then these clown ass fan base, these fans said, "Oh, Reeves faked an injury." Can you imagine? He faked an injury. But when we said LeBron faked an injury to start the season, oh, y'all hating. But we supposed to sit up here and endure y'all nonsense. It's a joke. They're a joke. He's a joke. The team is a joke. It's over. I told y'all this already. It's over. And guess what? There's nobody coming to bail you out. No one is trading Austin Reeves for you. No one is doing it. And if Austin Reeves is going to be traded, it won't be because LeBron fans want it. Let me say that one more time for the LeBron fans in the back. If Austin Reeves is going to be traded, it won't be to make LeBron James happy. It would be something that Luka Doncic himself wants. And if Luka says Reeves is going nowhere, Reeves is going nowhere. LeBron doesn't have that clout anymore. You don't get to have clout on a team with an expiring contract. That makes no sense. It's Luka's team. Maybe you guys don't have the memo. Y'all, they're over here talking about they should trade Luka. Yeah, the Lakers should trade Luka. Like, hear how insane you guys sound. They should trade Luka to go get somebody else to help LeBron win. They're insane, this fan base. That they should trade away Luka Doncic. This is where we are with this clown fan base. That they should trade away Luka. What needs to happen is this season needs to end and y'all need to leave. That's what needs to happen. This season needs to come to an end. LeBron needs to pack his bags, and his fan base need to, with their twerking asses, need to grab their buckets of honey and that they keep in their back pockets and keep it pushing. That's what needs to happen. And then, and only then, will this franchise be free. But until then, it's going to be a long season. JJ Redick talking about ain't going to be another phase. Oh, it is. It's going to be like that, son. Only moves going down is if Luka Doncic requests it. I don't know if LeBron fans missed the memo, but maybe you guys were not here this summer. Maybe you guys went to Honeyland in Narnia. Over the summer, the Lakers were making decisions without informing LeBron. But y'all think in your derangement that, they're going to trade Luka to help LeBron. Yeah, y'all living in Peter Pan land, ain't y'all? Y'all really think that y'all are the A side of this whole thing. They really believe that. They're the A side. Y'all are lost in the sauce. I'm done.